Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This video is about what in us resists, persists. And so how can we change that? I can already tell you that this video is going to talk about where the center of martyrdom, martyrism is in the world, physically speaking and energetically. What can we do about that, regardless of where you find yourself in the world? And I'm not sure what else. We will see what comes. As you know, as I hit the record button, the information comes. Not a second before, not a second after. Sometimes it does come before. That's a lie. Sometimes it does come before, and I feel more reassured in myself to speak when I have the information from before, but I always love when I don't know what's about to happen and I just hit the record button and whatever comes out according to the sword of truth inside of me. So let's begin. People of planet Earth, here it comes. So the false matrix was built upon us being martyrs. The false matrix was built upon us being many generations ago, thousands of years ago. We were enslaved. Our heads were chopped off. We were punished for our beliefs. We were this, we were that, right? All that which had happened and wasn't processed was placed, energetically speaking, in that which we call hell today, but also a part of it in that which we call, it's still part of hell, but we can refer to it today as that which supports the hell. And that which supports the hell is the majority of people on earth which live in the false matrix they support the dark ones, and they, even if they do know it some, right, but they live on the false light, false white side of the matrix, and they think about themselves as being good people, right? But isn't that a lie? All this is rooted in a whole. Energetically imagine a whole. The whole of martyrdom, the whole of martyrism. This whole always asks for more. Always asks, but it does not ask for what we think it asks for. Mostly, it asks for us to do the work, to recover the parts of ourselves, to become whole again, for it to close. Because this hole is basically a hole between this realm of reality and the realm of spirit. This hole is a hole in the hell. Religions refer to this hole as purgatory or something similar. And this hole in the hell is between the realm of humans and the realm of spirit. Energetically speaking, we find this hole situated in Thailand. expands a little bit its borders outside of the country, but it is in there. To counterbalance this whole, Buddha has had its roots deeply embedded in the area. What is martyrdom, right? Let me Google it really quick. Martyr. What's a martyr definition? A person who is killed or made to suffer because of their religious or other beliefs. A person who displays or exaggerates their discomfort or distress in order to obtain sympathy or admiration. Right? But it's more than this. This Google definition, it doesn't make justice to what the word wants to express here today. We are all martyrs. We continue to be martyrs in the false light, in the false white matrix. We are forced to lie. Some would say we are forced to. Let's stop with we are forced to lie. There are some exceptions from what I'm about to say, but generally speaking, we are living in the false light, in the false matrix, and we are manipulating our situations in life by we are not taking time to look at ourselves in the mirror to be honest with ourselves. We are not doing that. What we do instead is live life from one day to another, and in a constant state of lying to oneself, even if deep you know there is something here I should do. What is it that I'm avoiding? You see the avoidant in yourself. It's right here. What is it? And so if you take a second to see what is it, is you are in that victim mentality and you use other people, not even subconsciously any longer. You use other people to help you survive in this mess. And so in this way you create negative ties on the false light of the matrix, and then you call yourself a good person. Right? You lie to yourself again by saying, there was nothing else I could do in that situation. Wait a minute. Ask yourself, wasn't there anything to do in that situation? You didn't have time to think before. And let's leave on the side the before. After, did you take time to take responsibility and accountability for your actions, for your facts? Have you, in every single moment of your life, been honest with yourself and the situation? Asked yourself, is this everything I can do in this moment for the betterment of myself, of my family, of my community, of my city, of the world at large? Have I? No, you have not. Why? What is draining your energy? Because if we are going towards the exceptions, some exceptions from this case, something is draining your energy. What if we stop there? And this is another hole in the matrix. And funny enough, this is in Romania. Okay, so that's the hole that's draining us, for some exceptions, seems like. And that is the hole that makes you feel inferior. That's inferiority complex. And the opposite of this would be superiority complex, right? So how many people out there, because they feel inferior, they have this superior outbursts of anger, of jealousy, of just generally speaking, they feel they are superior. But what are you superior with? In what way? In which sense? Because you might be, although now I'm talking for those that you really are not, but you cannot see that. Because some people, they are, and they need to understand what that is. Right? And I'm not talking here about superiority as in narcissism. Right? So interesting. You have been born in a place where didn't allow you, the energies around you didn't allow you to survive, you might want to say. To survive in which way? Because if you are watching this video, you are alive. Hopefully. Right? If life takes you away from that situation that didn't allow you to be what you are meant to be, what you feel in yourself you want to be, don't say no to the opportunity to leave that behind. Every single time there is growth in you, in someone, they will ask for more. And the asking for more, it is not always what you think. We should allow them to grow, some would say. And that is true, but there is always a counterbalance, right? There is always a wisdom to keep in mind, and that in this case is know when to stop. That's what the great, back in time, right? The great people that conquered the world, the great people that conquered the world, they conquered and conquered and conquered, and they didn't know what to stop and to what price. How many people died in the process? To the expense of what price? And there is so much more to say to this story. But let's go back to Thailand. There is an axe here that goes, it's between Romania and Thailand, and it's so interesting. And this axe is between the inferiority complex and martyrdom, right? As I was mentioning about, did I mention? I don't think I did. We all, just by being a human on planet Earth, we all have the inferiority complex in us and the martyrdom in us. Just by being here, you do have it in you. And so as you heal whatever situations happened in your particular private life regarding martyrdom, persecution, suffering, or inferiority, you can now consider yourself safe from attracting into your life some of the situations. But it's not 100% true, this information. As you heal your personal private experiences, you really, yes, you can say you took the necessary steps to protect yourself against more suffering. But just because you are a human here, incarnated, you still have it in you, just because these centers, they have the holes in there. And so as the hole is being closed in those areas of the planet, is when we can say, as humanity, we are safe from experiencing suffering, persecution, martyrism, or feeling inferior in any way, shape, or form. So how can we do that? Should we go to these countries and tell them you have to heal, you have to stop feeling inferior, and you have to stop being a martyr? That would be a way, right? But how many would listen? And so what's the medicine here? Here is the medicine. It's in the title of the video. What resists, persists. I feel inferior. I know it's true. Let me feel the feeling of feeling inferior. And then, in many cases, a period of purging, clearing karma, clearing decades, generations of feeling inferior and being a martyr will start. But then, person after person, experience after experience, these holes will be closed. Same with martyrdom. How am I a martyr in my life? If we look, mind blown, if we look closer to the martyrdom, what we find deeper is the insecurity, being inferior, the inferiority syndrome. And there is something even deeper. At the root of all this is the fear of being killed, fear of being persecuted for your beauty, for your voice, for your gifts, your magic, for being rich, for so on and so forth. The fear of being killed is at the root of it, at the bottom of it. And there is this illusion in the collective that if we touch that bottom, we die. But what if we let ourselves fall in there? The illusion of being killed disappears, and what is left are the hands of the divine holding us, saying, "Good job, you have done it." Isn't that beautiful? So, in other words here, being a martyr is one layer of in this situation that we are talking about today. But underneath it, more profoundly, is feeling inferior, and the root of it is the fear of being killed. So I'm going to pretend that I'm inferior, and then I will shapeshift into being a martyr just to survive. So how many have in you these complexes of these anomalies in your psyche? I can definitely see it in myself. I knew that I have this complex of inferiority, And I also knew that I had this hole instead of my solar plexus. Yeah. And it is because of where I come from, but not only. And so me being in the public eye here, you all watching me, it's been so hard for me, especially when I do the Zoom meetings, staying balanced while all this persecution, all this martyrdom, all this inferiority comes up. It's crazy. But in order to do these things, what is the secret? The secret is to really put on the side all the other things that the mind tells you, and to understand this is what it's happening actually. Because many things can come as a result of you having all this in you. Many things, in what I mean here is shame, guilt, overthinking of in a thousand different ways why you shouldn't put yourself out there, you know. And all this can be definitely all tied up in a bow that says procrastination. What a humbling video. So probably I'm not sure just yet what other holes we are going to close, but yeah, today was about the axe between martyrdom, inferiority, and how we can heal these things that persist in us. Okay, anything else that wants to be said here? The good news is more and more of these martyrs are being healed, are healing themselves in these energies. And so, yes, more and more videos are going to be put out there about it, about how to pull yourself out from the hole that you find yourself in, subconsciously, metaphorically, mostly, but not only. And there are exceptions from these cases. There is always, in my experience so far, there is always an exception, there is always a rarity, there is always, right? Okay. Nothing else wants to come through. So we are going to end it here. Interesting. Okay. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in my next one later today. Bye-bye. Oh, yes. So sorry. Wait. Stay with me. If you have any existential question or any type of question, please leave it in the comment section down below. I'm going to take it and make a little video with it, and I'm going to try to respond to it to the best of my abilities. More than that, don't forget I'm offering purification journeys, which are going to happen over the weekend. They start this weekend. If you are interested in that, send me an email. Find my email address in the description box below. These purification journeys are donation based, so whatever you feel is worth, you know what you have to do. Besides that, I'm offering shamanic initiations, I'm offering healing sessions, I'm offering readings just to see where you find yourself in your healing progress and process. And the cherry on top is a masterclass that comes next week and the following week, 2 days per week, 4 days in total. This has a set in stone price, and it is for those of us that know that are here to help the world rise. If that's you, send me an email and we can take it from there. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one.